Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. There's an ongoing discussion on Twitter regarding information concealment. Parents are concerned about their children, and information is being shared online. However, Chinese media is not reporting such stories. This means that if we live abroad, we might only be aware of a fraction of the information about the diseases spreading in China. Concerning the risk for Japan, two scenarios are conceivable. One is not an unknown disease, but rather the possibility of diseases like mycoplasma or influenza spreading in Japan as they are in China. The current issue in Japan is the shortage of pharmaceuticals. If infectious diseases start spreading in Japan, having medicine might not be a significant problem, but the shortage of medication could lead to confusion. The other scenario is the issue of an unknown disease, which is always a concern. There have been warnings that a new influenza would eventually become a pandemic. Influenza can strongly mutate within animal bodies, and there's always the possibility of a highly toxic virus emerging. While it doesn't happen frequently, considering China's massive pig farming industry, the consumption of pork could pose a risk. When purchasing livestock in China, it is said that various medications are used. While it is true that bacterial infections can be prevented by using certain substances, overdoing it can lead to excessive antibiotic resistance issues. This is acknowledged as a problem, and it's also raised concerns. In the case of viruses, prevention with medications is not as straightforward, and with a large number of pigs in China, each having different breeding environments, there are places maintaining clean conditions and implementing infection prevention measures. But there are also places where conditions are questionable, and even Chinese citizens might become hesitant about consuming pork if they see the breeding environments. Particularly in the case of influenza viruses, they can undergo mutations with increased virulence in the bodies of pigs or birds, potentially becoming highly toxic and capable of infecting humans. Although it's always a possibility, it's interesting that during my time in Shanghai, there was a period when bird flu was a major concern, but now, despite the current risk of a new influenza virus, most companies are not as vigilant. Even if a new influenza virus were to spread, it seems there are not many companies that have taken proper measures. In the event of an influenza outbreak or the emergence of a new virus infection, it's crucial to have well-thought-out strategies in place. However, considering the ever-changing regulations by the Chinese government and the lack of standardized procedures, it becomes challenging for companies to prepare. The criteria for isolation can vary based on the region in China, making it difficult to have uniform measures. Even within Shanghai, the treatment might differ by district. In such a country, it might be challenging for companies to plan in advance. The most frightening aspect is the potential outbreak of a new influenza or another virus infection. While this is a possibility worldwide, China's tendency to conceal information during the early stages of an epidemic is a unique concern. Taiwan understands this well, collecting and evaluating data independently. Japan also has the capability to do so with its scientific expertise. For instance, if a disease is spreading in China, bringing samples to Japan for investigation might lead to accusations of espionage, making it necessary to gather data from individuals returning from or entering China. However, this depends on China's willingness to cooperate. At this stage, there is no evidence of an unknown disease spreading, but it would be wise to prepare for shortages and establish a system that can respond quickly. Based on past patterns, by the time information about a disease spreading in China emerges, it might already be too late, resulting in economic impacts and the need to purchase vaccines from other countries. That concludes today's discussion. Until next time.